Well, truth be told, whenever I see articles like this, I'm actually getting to a point in my life where there's a part of me that goes, I'm getting too old for this shit. And what I mean by that is, despite the fact I'm only 29, what I mean by that is it is brain rot, obviously. But I've just spent far too much fucking time over the years watching, listening, reading, etc. This sort of BS, and I think in some capacity I'm getting a bit too long in the tooth, so to speak, to just tolerate this nonsense at this point. That said, I felt compelled to sort of make a tiny wee video here on the topic at hand because obviously Scotland, there's been quite a lot of protests going on as of late in relation to hotels up and down the country. Falkirk in particular, there was another one just today, in fact. It's still Saturday. Just today, in fact, but it's just the total hyperbole, and it's the hyperbole and the semantics and the diatribe and the fucking this is the stuff that does annoy me, and I know there's an aspect of this as kind of bait, it's rage porn, and it's bait because it sort of makes you feel compelled to respond, but at the same time, it's what I find annoying and have done for years is the fact that this is the sort of narratives that permeate across society in a political context and whatnot. And yeah, this is a sort of shit that goes unchecked, unchallenged, and no debate, etc. And as a consequence of such, what you end up beginning to see, and you have done for some time, is policies and whatnot coming out of our fucking gimpy little parliament. I guarantee you, when Holyrood comes back from their um, joke of a 2 month or whatever hiatus, I guarantee there will be some commentary from some of these wankers in our parliament in relation to my far right. It's like, anyway, sort of rambling already. Anyway, so here we go. So this is a Daily Record, right? Labour paper, right? Neo-Nazis and convicted violent thug organising and backing Scots anti-immigration protests, right? Then it says, members of the far-right groups, Patriotic Alternative, Britain First, and the Homeland Party are plotting. They're plotting to attend and stage hate-filled events across the country. Oh no. Oh no. And this is fucking hyperbole. It's mental. Neo-Nazis. Fucking Jesus. Oh man. Neo-Nazis and a convicted violent thug have organised and backed a growing wave of anti-immigration or immigrant outside. Wait, sorry, what? Have backed a growing wave of anti-immigrant outside Scottish hotels. So I'm assuming anti-immigrant sentiment or whatever. Let me correct your vocabulary there. Anyway, a Sunday. Here we go. They've got the hot scoop. Are you ready for some intellectual fundamental? An investigation has uncovered members of far-right groups such as PA. Oh no. PA, Britain First and the Homeland Party, which are plotting to attend and stage hate-filled rallies across the country, right? Around 150 people gathered outside the Radisson Blue in Perth yesterday, where asylum seekers are being housed to hold up "Get Them Out" signs, right? And we can also reveal, I mean, they say this as if like they've done actually and they could justify their fucking paychecks, huh? You know what I mean? The reality of the matter is this, so just on a wee side note here, like, pretty sure that and I mean, I don't really follow PA or fucking Britain, but especially Britain First, no offense, boys. But I don't follow any of these people, but like, I'm pretty sure they would have fucking been open about their appearances and whatnot, so this is hardly a hot take, nor is it like something that required any deep diving. So, pat yourself on the back if you really wish to. But regardless, And we can also reveal the head of the community group, which organised the anti-immigrant protests outside the Cladden Hotel in Falkirk, is a 28-year-old thug. Oh, he's a thug. It's like the hyperbole again. Not only that, like, is this not bordering on slander with some of the fucking patter that these people come away with? You know, whether it's Hope Not Wait, whether it's anti-racist dickheads in general, whether it's all of these trade unionists and whatnot, or our government, or our politicians in general, or councillors, or whomever it may be. Like, is this not bordering on slander? With the waffle, you know, I find it funny with some of the crap they come away with purely on the basis that the stuff that they come out with is just outlandish. But at the end of the day, these are people that you're speaking about. So there's a semblance of irony in all this, or hypocrisy even, you know, while you sit there and try to derail, denigrate, and shit on people who have concerns, irrespective of whether or not you think the people that have concerns are doing so, or are expressing concerns because they're fucking Nazis, etc. You're still degrading people, you know, you're still degrading people. So in your attempts to pat yourselves in the back and bang on to no end about how you love and embrace brown people, you're simultaneously fucking degrading people. The very people that you are you claim these people are degrading brown people and whatnot, and they're racist, etc. And in your attempts to call these people out, you degrade them. So, anyway. So this guy, a 28-year-old thug with a string of convictions, including assault and biting a cop, a police officer, whatever you will. Oh no. So, oh well, I can't take that guy seriously, because he bit a police officer. He's got a string of convictions in the Daily Record have said he's a thug. You know, everybody's got a past, right? Unless you've done something abhorrent, criminality-wise, you know, such as rape or, you know, murder or whatever, right? Like, we don't know the circumstances as to how he ended up biting a cop. We don't know what this boy got up to in his past. We've all got past, especially if you're from fucking Scotland, you know? Anyway, that's here nor there. In 2021, and here we go, like, then they just start, like, bringing up this guy's private life, right? And I mean, you put yourself above the parapet, this is what you have to expect, I understand that, but it's like, what relevancy does this have to the protests outside hotels? It's just fucking nonsense, And I mean, bear in mind, boys and girls, this is clear-cut proof that he's basically Mussolini Jr., right? So it says, in 2021, the father of two, who ran Save Our Future and Our Kids, was fined £600 for biting a police officer's hand while he was being held at a Falkirk police station, right? Am I condoning that? No. But do we know the circumstances and the scenario in question? Do we know what happened? Quite frankly, to quote my beautiful ex-First Minister's book, I don't give a fuck, to be honest. Does that make the idea of protesting outside hotels any less legitimate? No, not really, as far as I'm concerned. You know, during the case at Falkirk Sheriff Court, the sheriff said that his criminal record contained quite a few assaults, including one in 2018, for which he received various custodial sentences. Again, what does this prove? Does this prove that in his downtime, you know, this a 28-year-old father, by the way, so they're poo-pooing him as a parent, they're poo-pooing him as a person, right? But this is a guy who's got kids, right? So these dickheads at the Daily Record are effectively, potentially, could be, going a long way to fuck up his life and his kids' lives. You know, they don't think about these things away because he's a good stepper, apparently. The point is, though, this does not negate away from the reality of what's going on here, whether it was him who was the face of the fucking protest at Falkirk or whether it was somebody else. It really is irrelevant, but they will always home in on whatever they can, unfortunately, But it's like, this does not prove that he's Mussolini Jr. This does not prove that he worships Adolf Hitler. This does not prove anything apart from the fact they've got a bit of hyperbole and they've got criminal convictions of a man's past life. I don't care. Most people probably don't care, but it's the hyperbole, and it's this hyperbole in and of itself which goes a long way to justify policies and whatnot that comes down the line, which is the fucking problem here. You know, if our government and governments in general weren't so obsessed with fucking parroting the same bullshit that I am currently reading out aloud, then I wouldn't be talking about it in general, you know? But this is the reality. Oh, the far right, oh, Nazis are everywhere in Scotland. Oh, what's your basis for that? Oh, thugs outside a Falkirk protest. Oh, fuck off, huh? You know? The Scottish Refugee Council last night warned people who have experienced they've experienced unimaginable trauma and they're being victimised. Again, more hyperbole. More fucking hyperbole, right? What about? I'm not gonna get there, but it's like, oh, honest to fuck, this is just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And I think most people know that it's self-explanatory at this point, and the Scottish Refugee Council are hardly a fucking, like, plausible source to refer to in your alleged deep dive. Colin McFarlane, the Director of External Affairs, said, "We stand in solidarity with people who have been the target of deliberately harmful language and misinformation." What misinformation? I mean, it's like, it's very easy to say this, right? By the way, pardon me on the sniff, by the way, like, I've been fucking sneezing for the last, like, hour. But I don't get this crap about misinformation, You never actually see these people debunking what they claim is misinformation or disinformation, right? You never see them doing that. They just throw terms about. They're spreading hate and they're spreading disinformation and misinformation, but don't expect me to debunk any of these things. Just take it at face value and take my word for it that the things that I'm saying are accurate and what they're saying is not accurate. It's not how it fucking works. These people have got receipts. These people have got concerns that are being dismissed, and concerns that are not just being dismissed, they're being used against these people and are being called fucking Nazis. This is Scotland, right? It's not 1930s Germany. It's not 1930s Italy. It's Scotland in 2025, right? And there's there's towns up and down this country that are becoming unrecognisable. And this is actually not a thing for me personally about illegal immigration. I think that's a bit of a red herring, right? Too many people are focusing on that, but it's a problem in and of itself. But Scotland's demography is slowly starting to change over time, and it's becoming more and more apparent in towns up and down this country, right, where the populations are a lot smaller than you would see in, say, cities such as Edinburgh, etc., right? But point being, though, the demography is beginning to change, right? This is undeniable. So I think it's abhorrent, and I think it's gaslight. Yeah, I could go on. Come on, the fuck. People who have faced unimaginable trauma are being scapegoated when the real problems lie with a broken system. Here we go again with the nonsense about scapegoating, You're scapegoating migrants. You're scapegoating migrants. Do you know what? The one thing that I will say, and it kind of goes back to what I was just saying there, right, is I would actually agree that, yeah, there is people out there who are scapegoating refugees and whatnot. But not for the same reasons these people would have you believe, What I mean by that is that there's too many people they're acting like pressure valves, and they are scapegoating refugees and asylum seekers and whatnot, as opposed to focusing on migration in and of itself. But in overall, right, nobody's actually scapegoating migrants, right? I don't think it's racist, nor is it a Nazi or fascistic, etc., to point out that it is of how much you want to blame migration in and of itself. They play a part in terms of exacerbating issues in this country, right? Don't think that's unreasonable, right? Charity begins at home and all that bullshit. Anyway, here we go. When we confronted Graham, his criminal background was being used to discredit him, he said, and obviously that's not going to work. He said locals have been ignored by authorities over their genuine concerns about migrants staying in the area. He insisted he was not racist or far right and said, "What I would ask is what is the definition of far right? This term seems to be used by many people. It's been used against me and other people. I'm connected to, but I'm not racist. I'm not far right. I have a multicultural friend group. I've got friends in Syria, Turkey. I've also got Pakistani friends. Oh well, mate. Well, you're clearly not racist then. This is another thing on a wee side note that I'm getting fucking fed up of. No offense to you, my guy, by the way, right? You're just clearly, presumably, an ordinary guy, yeah? You do you, right? But I'm pretty sure for anybody that pays any attention, or especially I have probably paid an unhealthy amount of attention to this shit. You could make compilations of it. Every single one of these protests and whatnot, whether it's in Falkirk, whether it's in fucking or Elgin a few years ago, or it doesn't matter, Dundee, Edinburgh, Glasgow, etc. It's always the same BS. I'm not racist. I just don't like illegal immigration. If they found legal routes to come in, I wouldn't have a problem, right? Again, it goes back to what I was on about earlier on, man. It's pressure of our BS, but it's not racist to fucking be concerned about demography changing around you. I just wish people would stop focusing on illegal migration because, yes, it's a problem in and of itself, but it's not illegal migration that is responsible for demography change, right? And I just wish people would stop banging on about, I'm not racist, I've got brown friends. It's cringe. It's fucking cringe. I understand why they feel compelled to say things like that, but at the end of the day, you're doing nobody any favours, especially yourselves, because at the end of the day, these journalists, these dickheads, will always find a reason to call you all the names under the sun. So the more time that you spend trying to justify to them why you're not what they're accusing you of, just makes you look like a bell end. Because you're not going to convince anybody who is of their persuasion. He then says this is a multicultural country, and it always has been. No, it's fucking not. I mean, what planet are you on? What planet are you on? Right? Multicultural in what capacity? What, Protestant and Catholic? Look how much fucking problems that brought. And that's when they were all white. What about before that? Nearly 1,000 years ago, when it was pagan / Pictish. Oh yeah, totally multicultural. 98% white in 2001, 96% white in 2011. Really fucking multicultural, diverse, and progressive. Stop. Oh, anyway. But again, though, these are ordinary people that are being lambasted, harangued, and ridiculed, and they're getting their lives ruined for having the temerity to call out the problems in their local communities. And quite frankly, to quote my beautiful ex-Bolcutted First Minister of old, it's really sad. It really is sad. But collectively, people, in my opinion anyway, have to stop fucking explaining themselves to these cunts, because you're never going to win people over it. The vast majority of people have got their minds made up irrespective of which side of the aisle they fall on. You just make yourself look like a dickhead by going, I'm not racist, I've got brown friends, mate. No, stop it, Stop it. You know what I mean? And he's probably got good intentions. Most of these people have got good intentions. Of course, there's bad actors everywhere, but that's the irony of all this, because there's plenty of person who would be brandished as a counter demonstrator and anti-racist guy or whatever. Or bad actors, Anyway, according to anti-racism group Hope Not Hate, oh well, it must be fucking true then, irrespective of whatever nonsense they're about to come away with, because I've not read this article, but Hope Not Hate, a very verifiable, absolute based, red-pilled, hot IQ fucking website to go to for your information, alright? They claim that this campaign was started by Tommy Robinson, or an ally of Tommy Robinson, who's a former EDL chief who's now involved in Security for Britain First. Oh, God, I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. Simon Crane, Scottish organiser for the Homeland Party, Simon Crane, attended the Falkirk event, as well as Richard McFarlane, a key activist for PA, who took the mic and addressed the attendees. Obscure online chat groups seen by the Sunday Mail. Oh, I mean, even the way they word it is like, it's seen by the Sunday Mail. We've got the scoop, but what? So you fucking join Telegram? Oh, kudos, boys. They show PAs have pledged to participate in more demonstrations across the country, while Save Our Future and Our Kids' Future is planning a further event in Falkirk. Meanwhile, UK A Force for Good, another far-right group. I mean, even this, right? Fucking hell. This one's a belter, right? Alistair McConaughey, or whatever the hell, however you pronounce it, he ain't far-right, He's no far right, but this is how far, pardon the pun, we have fallen as a society in terms of what constitutes news. If he is far right, then God knows what the hell I am. He's no far right. He's as milk toast as it gets. I'm sorry, mate. No offence, right? You do you. He ain't far right, but these people. Oh God. I just need to stop now. Police Scotland were in attendance, with officers confirming they were aware of protests planned in Aberdeen, and Stirling too. Oh my fucking God. And then we got Maggie Chapman. I mean, this has got to be a joke. It's got to be a joke. The Scottish Greens apparently called for the government to make a statement on the rising number of protests. Margaret Chapman, the Rhodesian boot, said ministers need to make clear that they stand with refugees and lay out what they will do to support and protect them and tackle the hatred and hostility that these protests represent. Oh yeah, thanks for that hot take. And the climate's apparently changing. We're all going to burn to a cinder. Their planet's burning and whatnot. I bet it's fine. Maggie Chapman's got time to talk about fucking refugees. Guarantee that in the coming weeks you are going to see statements and whatnot from our government in relation to this shite. Bear in mind, the Scottish government are a alleged nationalistic party. They had an anti-far right summit just, a couple of months ago? Watch what happens, man. Watch what happens. But again, just to sort of conclude this, because I do realise I've gone on for some time, like what's going to end up happening and have been happening for some time is the total hyperbole on steroids, is the rhetoric that goes unchallenged and whatnot, and subsequently as a consequence what you end up seeing long term is policies and whatnot coming out to combat the bullshit the aforementioned bullshit. Like none of these people are far right. I don't like PA, no offence, boys. I really don't like fucking Britain First. I most certainly don't like Homeland. But does that make me far right because I can say aloud that these people aren't far right? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. None of it makes sense. Anyway, have a good night. Adios.